Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football Now for the latest round of Premier League fixture previews. We will be giving you our own predictions. Sorry, I'm running you through the better odds. As you can tell by the title of this video, will be focused on Tottenham taking on Newcastle in the Premier League 4:40 kickoff on Sunday afternoon. Tottenham stemming the rot in their last league game at the time of recording. At least they play West Ham tonight at the time of recording this. But in the last game was a 3-3 draw away. Manchester City on the back of 3 consecutive defeats. Newcastle as well heading into the game on the back of a 1-0 home win against Man United last weekend, and also travel to Everton tonight. Before we get into that in more depth, Connor, do you want to talk us through those betting odds first of all?
Yeah, well, like a few games, isn't it? You know, it seemed like the first few games were all 1-2, and then the last few games have been just so difficult to predict. I mean, courtesy of being at home, Spurs do kick off slight favourites, and I say it was a slight favourite. I mean, Newcastle there, 37-20, whereas Spurs 7-5. You scale that up, it's going to be 28-20. So you know, there's not much between the two sides there. I mean, Tottenham are fifth, but that was due to their incredible start to the season, whereas Postecoglou Ange Ball has really gone down south there. 4 games without a win now, 3 defeats in that, and a late equaliser against Manchester City. If it weren't for Simon Hooper, they could have conceded again then. Newcastle, I don't know about you, but it feels like how are Newcastle not getting up this table? Because they always seem to be winning games.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Got to place. I mean, I know they play tonight, but they're not. You know, I mean, they lose that one game against Bournemouth, and all of a sudden that's it. Just killed their top 4 charge. It's mad. But I mean, I guess it goes to show the strength really of the top 4. Actually, that all the teams just seem to be winning. I mean, I know City have dropped a lot of points recently, but you know they've gone from 1st to 4th. So yeah, it is really difficult. I think we always said that at some point Tottenham would miss Harry Kane. I think they are starting to miss Harry Kane now. Listen, you've got one of the best strikers of his generation, of any generation maybe. I know he's not got the trophy haul, 0 trophy. Sorry, Audi Cup, did win the Audi Cup. Beg your pardon. Sorry, pardon me for breathing. But you know, he would have smashed Alan Shearer's record if he stayed in the Premier League. So he is one of the best strikers of his generation. And when you take that out of a team, you will suffer. But yeah, it's not been good. I mean, Aston Villa, you can sort of forgive them, but you know, Wolves and Chelsea, the whole 9 men, it's not great, is it? Whereas Newcastle seem to be doing just fine. I mean, there was that disappointment in the Champions League where they got robbed by VAR. Was the referee bald? I can't remember. I don't know.
Probably. If not, the VAR probably was.
Maybe hair works differently in Europe. I don't know. But yeah, that 2-0 defeat to Bournemouth. I mean, we talk about before how well Bournemouth have been doing recently, and you can forgive those results every once in a while. It's just one of those that do happen. And yeah, like I've been saying, I don't really know how they are where they are because they keep accumulating the points. But it's a tough one to call because both of these sides are capable of winning this game. They both can score goals. I hope it's a repeat of the last time they played at St James's Park this season. Last season where Newcastle went 5-0 up inside 21 minutes and ended up winning 6-1. That was a fun time.
Yeah. You get good odds on that happening again this weekend. I'm sure.
That's my prediction. 6-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, I'll hold you to that. There you go. Connor's already. We've got that on film now. Connor's predicting 6-1 to Newcastle. I'm looking at the injuries haven't been updated yet, but we know Tottenham have had a few injuries as of late. I'm just looking at it. Obviously, they play West Ham tonight, like I said. But then they've got the Newcastle game, and after that they head to Forest, and they host Everton, head to Brighton, and host Bournemouth between now and the end of the year. Some difficult fixtures in there, but ultimately, look, we've mentioned there. I'll get the table back up. They slipped down a few places because of those defeats and the draw last time out. But if you'd have offered Tottenham, I think if you'd have said to them 5th within touching distance to the top 4, 14 games in, I think they'd have taken it off the back of last year and losing Harry Kane.
I mean, they could go against. Could go both Manchester City tonight. They've got to win by 11 goals, but it's possible.
you never know. Anything's possible in football. But yeah, I think they absolutely would have taken that despite the recent drop-off in form. They don't have Europe either this season as well, so they're going to have that extra time in the training field, extra time of recovery. I think they've got a real shout as anyone else outside of the top four of getting into the Champions League places. Ultimately, I don't know if they will, but we will always see. I think Newcastle.
Can I just say how ridiculous it was that people were saying Tottenham for the title? I always maintained that Ange Postecoglou's title chasing Spurs were never title chasing. Ludicrous. Form is temporary, class is permanent. Tottenham fans, they had a good bit of form, but now they're still lofty compared to where they should be. Yeah. Whereas Arsenal, back at the summit.
He had to get it in there. He's brought Arsenal into a Tottenham video. I don't know how he managed it every time, but we'll see. The Tottenham fans are going to be waiting now. You better hope Arsenal stay there. They're going to be waiting for you, Connor. I'm looking at Newcastle.
Even if Arsenal don't stay there, it's a long, long way between us and Spurs.
Okay, well, Newcastle, like I said, got Everton tonight, Tottenham on Sunday. They go to a really important game against Milan at home in the Champions League. Then they host Fulham, go to Chelsea in the Cup, travel to Luton. A lot of games between now and the end of the year for Newcastle. But
they're tiring games as well. They're the difficult games. I mean, we talked about coming to Goodison Park and obviously AC Milan. This game's going to take a lot out of them, and they need to be fit because those are tiring. Also with the traveling schedule as well, it's going to be tough on them. It really is. But they've got between Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall, they've got a lot of hair between them, so they should have enough to come through it.
Okay, now, yeah, there we go. I've completely lost my train of thought because there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of traveling because they're in that. Sounds mad, but they're in the northeast. There aren't loads of Premier League teams in and around them, are there? So there is always a lot of traveling when they're moving away from home. But yeah, if they can get back in the Champions League, they'd absolutely snatch a hand off of that, I'm sure, next season. Come to the point then where we will run through our own predictions. Wrong banner. There we go. You can see I'm ahead of Connor right now. He'll be looking to close the gap this weekend.
I had a nightmare. Midweek's not even over, and I've had a nightmare. Best I can do is claw it back to 10 points, which was still more than what I started the midweek off.
Yeah, terrible. We're flying high right now. Hopefully, it'll stay at that. But Connor, what are you thinking? Oh, wait, you did say 6-1 Newcastle. Are you sticking with that?
No, I didn't. No, shove it up your. No, I didn't say that. I was joking.
Go on. What's your prediction?
I'm going second this week.
Sorry. Like Arsenal at the end of the season, I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Newcastle 2.
Mate, you weren't even in the conversation last season. What? You go back to your Thursday nights.
Oh, here we go.
What did you say? I wasn't listening to you. I was too angry.
I said Tottenham 2, Newcastle 2.
Tottenham 2, Newcastle 2. No, I've heard it. I'm going to go for Ange Postecoglou's title-chasing Spurs to drop 3 points. I'm going to go with Newcastle 3, Tottenham 1. Wow. And I'm not even blind. I'm not even blinkered. I'm not even that score happen. I have my personal the candy cane guarantee that 3-1 Newcastle.
Okay, we're holding to that.
I've only got 4 correct results this season compared to your 11, but this is going to be the 5th.
There you go. To be fair, that's the 11 out of 140 games. It isn't very good, is it? But
I'm on 4.
So there is that. There's always someone worse off, as they say. Anyway, that concludes our preview for Tottenham versus Newcastle. The final game of the weekend. You can go and check out all the other videos we've done for the games this weekend over on the channel and our affiliated channels down in the link below. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week to see if Connor has closed the gap.
I just want to get to single digits, baby steps. I'm not asking for much.
There we go. And we'll see if Arsenal are still top of the Premier League after a difficult trip to Villa Park on Saturday. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.